Welcome, Legends fans. It's your favorite Legends commentator and YouTuber. Okay, I'm joking. I'm not going to hype myself up that much, but it's somebody who loves the game and wants to have fun with you guys and discuss it as well. And we're here for another game of Buff, Marry, Nerf. What am I talking about here, guys? If you haven't seen my first video about this on the dual attributes, we're going to go through the attributes, each of them, and pick cards that need to be buffed, cards that need to be nerfed, or cards that are so perfect they need to be married. So let's go into game and I'll talk about some stuff that made me decide to pick Will-power for today's Buff, Marry, Nerf. So in the comments down below, pick the cards that you want to see buffed for Will-power, the cards you want to see nerfed for Will-power, and the cards you just want to give that quite big heart hug to in Will-power before you guys see mine. So before you see my picks, go ahead in the comment section, pick your cards to buff, nerf, and marry. I like you guys to do it before you see what I'm going to pick so I don't influence your opinions. You get what I'm trying to say here? I'm giving everybody a little bit of time. I'm delaying a few minutes. I'm just talking. Join the Discord. How about that, guys? Join the Discord. We just implemented a new feature where we'll be sharing wallpapers for Skyrim and Fallout games. Just a good way to come back every single day. I'm sharing really cool high definition wallpapers for mobile and for desktop there. So with the Discord stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into a video I have for you guys of me ranking up with a spell sword deck that features one of the cards that I want to go ahead and marry. So let's first of all start off with the card that I think definitely needs a buff. Let's start off with a buff card. Ba-bam! Chanter of Akatosh. Now this card definitely is a quite unique one. You play an action and it goes ahead and summons a creature from your deck randomly off the same cost. Now if you don't like RNG, definitely could be bad, but the options here are quite amazing. Now, the biggest problem with this card is not that it's cost. I think the cost is actually quite amazing and perfect. I think the problem here is it's a defense, it's health. It does not have enough health to survive long enough to be so useful. At 2 HP, it's going to be taken out by firebolts and so many other things. I think if this thing just got a little bit more of a health boost, it will just give such a long way. Just not being able to be traded with so many early game creatures like Harpy and such will be such great. I would just bump this up to 3. I think you could keep the magical cost because the ability of this card is so powerful that if you played your deck correctly, it could work out quite well. But if it could go up to 3 or 4 health, it would make this card perfect for me. Now let's talk about a card that we're going to say is definitely a perfect. This is a marry for me. Let's get it. Bam! Divine Favor. Now, Divine Favor is one of those interesting cards that I definitely got to say is just perfect at a 5 magicka for giving 1/1 to all creatures. It's absolutely excellent. This card was actually nerfed, if you ever knew this. If you've been playing Legends long enough, you guys know this card used to even be more powerful, and it was actually nerfed down to this point. And at this point, I think it's so balanced. And when I say marry, I mean the card is perfect for the way the game is currently. It's very balanced in the way it plays in the current meta and the current way the game is being played. And that's why I think this card is perfect. It's not overpowered, it's not underpowered. And that's what I mean by a card for me that needs to be married. It's just right. Now let's talk about a card that I think definitely needs to take a little bit of a look at. Now, don't want to 100% say it's a nerf, but it's the closest thing I can say for nerf for Will-power, and it has to be Black Dragon. Black Dragon got so much power for a 4 magicka. I mean, 5/5, and it's immune to lethal. And that's what I think that's kind of an interesting thing with this card. Its stats with the immune to lethal makes it such a hard card to take care of. And that's where I'm like, I almost would want this card to actually get some type of change. You could keep it a 4 magicka. You could keep the 5 health. But I think that either the attack got to change from being a 5 or it has to lose the immunity to lethal. I just think it's a super powerful, and it's not bad to have overpowered card, but looking at all the Will-power cards, I just feel like this one is just like, damn, I've so many times I've gotten myself Fighters Guild Recruit and it just wasn't able to take this card out because of that lethal, or just because it had so much attack, it could do so much damage, could be used. Like, I feel like this card should be used to clear creatures traded, but so many times I see people play this to hit face, and that's not what I think this card should really be intended for. But I'm not the developers, I'm just giving you guys my idea. Alright guys, let's go to a marry card, which you guys are clearly seeing on the map right now. Marry Dawnstar Healer. As you guys see, triple Dawnstar Healers I'm using right now to help me come back in this match amazingly. I think after the recent patch for this card, where now after enemy rune is destroyed, you gain 3 health, it makes it just perfect and balanced. Now your opponent can't actually respond with a Prophecy Lightning Bolt, Piercing Javelin, or other types of creatures. It's just so damn good that this card is balanced this way, and it's a 3 attack, 3 health, and it's 3 magicka. It's just right placed in your deck to work out so well. So that's why I think this card is definitely one of the marry cards. Let's go to another card I definitely think that does need to get itself a buff. It's Imperial Knight, guys. Imperial Knight to me literally is just not good at a 5 cost because of stuff like the Divine Favor. Like if I'm gonna pick a card to run my deck, majority of times, now I'm not saying there isn't decks you could play Imperial Might, majority of the time I'm gonna play Divine Favor in a Will-power deck over Imperial Might. I mean, Imperial Might, yes, I could understand where the developer is coming from. This spits out creatures every single turn, one after one after one. But there's enough removals for support in the game that, you know, you might only get 1 turn out of this. So I think if you could drop this down to 4 magicka so I can at least play this before Divine Favor, I'll get a little bit more use out of it. It's just right now at its cost, I can't include it in most of the decks I would love for it to be in. And that's my biggest problem with Imperial Might right now. So I definitely want to play it more, but I just think the magicka cost is just 1 too high. Drop it to 4 and it'd be perfect for me. Let you know if you guys agree with that or not, but I just really want to play this card more, but I just can't never really fit in most decks because Divine Favor works better or other supports just work better in its place. But we'll move on from there. Let's go ahead with another card that I think is absolutely just perfect. Let's shout out 5th Legion Trainer. This lady right now handing the sword is absolutely amazing. Now, she may not be the best trainer in the world, though, because she clearly is holding the sword by the blade with her bare hands. And I'm just saying, I'm not no sword master. I wasn't around in the Dark Ages. I'm not a character in Skyrim. I don't know how thick their skin is. I'm just saying, I'm just a little black YouTuber. My skin ain't that thick. It's kind of light on this side. But I'm gonna say, if you're a trainer, I don't think you should hand your pupils the sword on the cutting side. I'm just gonna say that in general, all right? Just gonna say that in general. But she's definitely is a cool card. I'm definitely gonna recommend you guys play this card if you don't already do, and you're a new player. It's one of those cards you're gonna be essential in many decks. You're gonna want 3 copies of it immediately. And why I think it's a marry card for me, guys, is the fact that it's 1 attack, 3 health, 2 cost, and it gives every other creature +1. It's perfect. It's able to get removed early enough with something like Crushing Blow, but it doesn't get removed on the turn it's summoned, the next turn after that from your opponent, because usually most 2 magical creatures don't have 3 attacks in the majority of the game, so it can survive a little bit of time. And playing in the Shadow Lane is just so good, man. Playing into the cover, I said the Shadow Lane, but the cover is so great. So marry card right there for sure. Alright, guys, for sure. And for the last card that I have for definitely needs to be buffed or looked at is Sanctuary Raid. Now, for 7 magicka card, this card just doesn't see enough play, just because outside of Versus Arena, because of the cost, and it only gives +1/+1. I mean, a Divine Favor lasts forever and gives everybody, like, you would prefer to run a bunch of Divine Favors than running a 3 Sanctuary Raid. Like, which one is better? Divine Favor. There's no question about it. 5 magicka, permanent boost. Yeah, you get to destroy 1 creature, but 1 creature ain't that important. Like, usually you don't lose a game just because that one, I mean, if it's Supreme Acromancer, if it's Tezcat, yes, sure. But it's probably better off to power up all your creatures permanently instead of that one, big jump. Now, how would I address actually powering this card up? That's a big tricky question. For me, what I would do with Sanctuary Raid is either one of 2 things, and this is where I'm going to need you guys' opinions as well, is I don't feel dropping the magicka cost is actually the 100% correct thing for it. I think give a boost in the amount of damage it increases for. If you're going to have a card like this for 7 magicka, make it make a bigger impact. I mean, even if you have to upgrade the rarity to make it a rare card instead of it being a common card, make it add +2 attack, +2 health, and destroy a creature. It will become way more viable in many decks, and we'll see a lot more play. It become a way more powerful card at turn 7. It becomes 2 more than a Piercing Javelin, but as well powers up your creatures in a good way. That's what I think they were thinking about with this card. I think they were thinking of, okay, it's like another Piercing Javelin type of card, just without prophecy. Another removal, but I'm trying to say, not really Piercing Javelin, another removal type of card, but it gives your creatures, you know, +1/+1. But there's so many other ways to remove creatures in the games. Execute, there's plenty of other ways. Now, Execute doesn't do a high cost creature, but you could, even if you use Execute with Calm, Execute with, Illusion. You know, there's so many ways to reduce a creature's health to use Execute. Even that combo is usually a lot cheaper than something like Sanctuary Raid. That's what I'm trying to say. This card needs a boost. Definitely does. And last but not least, in the Marry section, I'm going to go into Lydia. Lydia is one of those cards I just think fits the game so well. It's coming straight out of Skyrim. It's just like, hurts. Freaking effect is just makes so much sense. Block both lanes. It has the exact amount of health needed to actually take some damage. It's more than Hive Defender because it actually costs more. It's 5. It's freaking has 3 attack, which some of you guys might not realize. It's super important that it has 3 and not 4 and not 2. The 3 is so key. 3 makes it outside of the range of Execute. And I'm just saying some of you guys, I mean the very new people. I know long-time players will know all this stuff, but if you're very new to the game, I know I always talk to a lot of new players who help. I try to help them out in game. They message me, and that's why sometimes I say some of you guys. I'm not trying to disparage the old time players. I just want to make that very clear. I talk to a lot of new players. That's why a lot of my videos on Twitch and my in-game conversation and on the Discord, I like to help them out. So I always try to reference them when I'm talking about stuff like this. It's not only for the people who've been playing this game for a year. I'm gonna address the newer players as well. So like the new players, you gotta think about stuff like this. A card like this is outside of the range of Execute because it's more than 2 attack. It's outside of the range of Fall of the Mighty because it has less than 4. So Fall of the Mighty can't hit this. Execute can't hit this, right? It can't be taken out by a single lightning bolt. So it has to be like a Piercing Javelin or I guess a Sanctuary Raid, Manticora's ability, stuff like that has to take. This card is just good. So in the majority of times, if this card doesn't get silenced, and think about it, if you could play this in a deck where you could equip a loot to it, now with loot it can't be silenced and it gets +2 of health. Now, unfortunately, then it's in the range of getting hit by Fall of the Mighty. But still, the point being, most of the times your opponent's going to actually end up having to trade with this to get rid of it. And that's what makes it such a great card. And that's why it's definitely on this list. And this is my #1 card for going ahead and Marry. Alright, guys? So there you go, guys. It's been Buff, Marry, or Nerf for today. Fun video. Keeping it a discussional for now, guys. And I showed you guys a little bit of gameplay with that token deck that I've been having a lot of fun climbing the ladder with. I went from rank 4 to rank 2 in about 2 hours with that deck. Sorry, I know some of you guys probably want me to be like Legends rank. You guys know, if you're long-time players, I don't go to Legend until I know the monthly reward card. That's the only thing that fuels me to play ranked. Besides that, I play casual versus arena and just mess around making meme decks because meme decks are fun decks. Till next time, guys, like if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. It's all good either ways. Please share your own opinions in the comment section below. This is a discussion, guys. I want to talk to you. Let's talk about Legends. Because if you ain't talking to me, and if you ain't talking about the game, you're not thinking about the game. And then slowly you might drift away from the game. And slowly you might stop playing the game. This is a season where we're going to have Wolfenstein come out, Skyrim on the Switch, Mario Odyssey at the end of the month. Bunch of games coming out right now. And we should not forget about Legends. Legends is still something fun to play. So I'm trying to keep you guys at least a little entertained and keeping your brains thinking about Legends throughout the holiday season. Let's hope that Bethesda and Direwolf has some type of new expansion announcement at the end of the month, or if not in the beginning of November, to keep us excited for the rest of the year with the Elder Scrolls Legends. Till next time, guys, peace the heck out. Me, the hiss, aid you.